monster of frost and flame. The house was shrouded in darkness, and an eerie chill when I jolted awake on Christmas Eve. My breath puffed out in visible clouds, the cold biting through even the thick pile of blankets. Had the heater broken? My teeth chattered as I pulled the covers tighter around me, cursing the old creaky house we'd bought in the middle of nowhere. It was charming in the daylight, but at night, with its long, shadow-filled hallways, it felt haunted, like something out of a horror film. I glanced at my wife, Lisa, still sound asleep, her arm wrapped around our chocolate lab, Benny. He blinked at me, his tail wagging lazily. "Shh, Benny," I whispered, trying not to wake Lisa. I needed to check the heater. I wasn't the handyman type, more of a tech guy than a DIY fixer-upper, but the house was freezing. We could get sick if it stayed this cold. I slipped out of bed, wincing as my bare feet hit the icy wooden floor. I snatched my robe and slippers from the hook by the door and crept into the hallway. The chill out here was even worse. I switched on the flashlight app on my phone, the light casting long, flickering shadows as I made my way downstairs to the basement. Each step creaked, echoing in the stillness of the night. The basement light buzzed on, casting a dim, yellow glow. I approached the heater, half expecting it to be off or broken, but everything seemed normal. It was running, humming quietly. I frowned, rubbing my arms to fight off the chill. The heater was fine. So why was the entire house freezing? I pulled out my phone, ready to search for answers, when a noise from above made my heart skip a beat. Creak. It was the unmistakable sound of someone walking around in the living room. But that was impossible. Lisa and Benny were asleep upstairs, and we were the only ones home. I strained to listen, my blood turning to ice as I heard it again. A slow, deliberate footstep, like someone pacing. My breath hitched, and I glanced around the basement for something, anything I could use as a weapon. My hand landed on a rusty old wrench. It wasn't much, but it was better than nothing. I crept back up the stairs, moving as quietly as I could. I didn't dare turn on any more lights. I wanted the element of surprise if there was an intruder. I peeked into the living room, my pulse pounding so hard I was sure whoever was there could hear it. But the room was empty. The only light came from the small Christmas tree in the corner, its colored lights casting strange shadows on the walls. I let out a breath I hadn't realized I was holding. Maybe I'd imagined it. Maybe the house was just settling. I chuckled nervously, shaking my head at my own paranoia. Then I saw it, a movement out of the corner of my eye. I spun around, nearly dropping the wrench. The curtain by the window fluttered, caught in a gust of cold wind. The window was wide open. "What the hell?" I muttered, hurrying to slam it shut. We'd locked all the windows before bed. I was sure of it. I secured the latch, my hands trembling, the fear settling deep in my gut. Someone had been here. Someone had opened the window. I backed away, gripping the wrench tighter. Creak. There it was again, right behind me. I spun around, swinging the wrench wildly, but there was no one there. Just the dark, empty room. My heart raced, and I felt the sweat on my back turn cold. The fireplace door creaked open on its own, the metal hinges groaning in the silence. A low hiss filled the room, and I watched in horror as something crawled out of the fireplace. It unfolded slowly, standing taller and taller until it nearly brushed the ceiling. It looked human, almost, but it wasn't. Its skin was a flickering, shifting mix of blue flames and icy frost, like fire and ice had merged into one monstrous form. It grinned at me, its mouth filled with razor-sharp, icicle-like teeth. I stumbled back, hitting the wall. "What are you?" I stammered, the words barely more than a whisper. The creature tilted its head, studying me. "Hungry," it hissed, its voice a crackling, freezing whisper. "Family needs food." "Go away," I screamed, lifting the wrench as if it could actually protect me. The creature lunged, grabbing my wrist with one icy hand. Pain shot through my arm, cold so intense it felt like my bones were shattering. I screamed, thrashing, trying to pull away, but it was too strong. Frost spread from its grip, creeping up my skin. I could feel my blood freezing in my veins. "Ken, are you okay?" Lisa's voice called from upstairs, laced with panic. Oh no, she was awake. "Stay upstairs," I shouted, my voice hoarse. "Call the police. There's a monster." The creature's head snapped towards the stairs. "Another fresh meal," it growled. "Lisa, run!" I screamed as she appeared in the doorway, her eyes widening in terror. "What the hell is that?" she shrieked, backing away. "Go! Get Benny and run!" I pleaded. The creature dropped me, moving faster than I thought possible. It lunged at Lisa, grabbing her by the throat. She gasped, struggling against its grip, but it was no use. I tried to get up, but my body was numb, frozen from the inside out. I could only watch helplessly as the creature bit into her neck, tearing away a chunk of flesh. "No, Lisa," I sobbed, crawling towards them. The monster looked at me, blood dripping from its mouth. "She tastes good. Better than you." It dragged her towards the open front door. The freezing wind howled, snow blowing into the house. "No, please," I begged, my voice breaking. But it didn't stop. It disappeared into the night, taking Lisa's lifeless body with it. I collapsed, the cold finally overwhelming me. I lay there, staring at the open door as the snow piled up on the floor. The warmth of the Christmas lights seemed like a cruel joke now. My wife was gone. The monster had taken her, and I'd done nothing to stop it. I closed my eyes, tears freezing on my cheeks. "Maybe I'll taste better next Christmas," I whispered to the empty room, the last bit of heat leaving my body. If you enjoyed this story, leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next ones. With love.